and welcome to the Dabblin Dude Show. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Gray.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Clayville. Welcome to the show.
Yes, and this is what episode is this now, Chris?
Oh, man, episode 4?
4?
3, episode 3.
But,
Yes,
but technically 4?
Kind of, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3.
We're doing good. We can count. Yes. All right, man. So what's been going on with you?
Oh, man, what hasn't been going on? Everything's good. I've had the house to myself the last few days. The wife's visiting some family. So been doing some honeydews and some yard work and some projects around the house. Still working on that back deck removal, which is slowly coming to an end. So yeah, everything's good. Can't complain. How have you been? Any big news to share?
Well, let me tell you, I had a baby.
You had a baby?
Yes. Well, I didn't have a baby. I can't do that. It's not physically possible for me. But my
Okay.
wife had a baby, and dude, we got to talk about it. We got to spend just a few minutes on it.
Okay.
My wife freaking killed it. So our first child, we had to have a C-section. No shame in that. It's just things that happen. And there were reasons why. This time she worked really hard in preparation, and we also had a doctor that was very patient and was able to help us do a few things so that she could have a VBAC, which is having it, the El Natural way.
Oh yeah.
Through
Yep.
the old baby chute. And I tell you what, dude, watching it and like being there for her when she's pushing and like speaking in her ear, like, you're doing so good, baby. And just the whole experience. We had nurses that were so cool and like, yeah, come on, push. Okay. Take a break. Okay. Yeah, push. And we had a doctor that was so cool. Like one of the coolest dudes that I've ever met. He was like laughing and joking in the middle of it. And it just, the whole atmosphere was spectacular. And yeah, she just rocked it. She killed it. It was great.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm happy for y'all. This is number 2, right?
It's number 2. I got 2 boys now.
Awesome. So how many more to go? How many do y'all want?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We were both talking in the hospital. We were there, but we were kind of both like very sleep deprived, and she's tired and, having to do things. And we looked at each other and it's like, right now, I don't want to have another one. But it's like, we need to make this decision once we're past this point. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not the right time to have that discussion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just going to show a quick video of my baby
Yeah.
boy.
Do it.
And here it is.
Do you see your dad?
Oh, look at that. Look at that guy.
I know. What's so crazy is like he looks like his little brother. Like they are very similar.
Yeah, I can see that.
Isn't that wild, dude?
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Oh, look at him. Look at him.
Whoa.
Only
That's
a few
awesome,
days
man.
old.
Daddy, Bubby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just talking to him right now. I don't think you can hear it, but I'm like, oh, my buddy.
So do you have like a higher confidence level? Like this is your second one, so obviously, I would imagine the experience would be more of, hey, I've done this before, I've got this, kind of got some experience under your belt, or is
Yeah.
it still kind of like kind of nerve-wracking, or not nerve-wracking, but
Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
absolutely. So when I first had them, the thing that gets me is, you have to support their necks, and their skull is so fragile, and but at the same time they're very pliable. But there was one of the nurses in there talking about how, their brains are like jello that's not formed yet, so you can't really like shake them around or anything. Like if you did that, it wouldn't take much to cause like brain damage, and those kind of things like that. Once I start thinking about it, freaked me out a little bit. So I was like overly careful, and but now as a few days have gone by, starting to come back to me of like, okay, I'm gonna hold him like a football, and I can do this over here, and you have these, it's almost like there's these instincts that kick back in of like, it feels very primal of like back in the day, like I have baby and I protect. And yeah, that's kind of the feeling I have. And especially when I was in there and we did it, naturally. And like she had an epidural and all that, of course, but it was like one of the hottest things, dude. I was so attracted to my wife, and like I am, but it's like that was like extra attractive to like watch her go full woman mode. It was beautiful, and yeah. So
That's amazing.
starting to come back.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for y'all, and looking forward to actually meeting him.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Soon. We're gonna have to do a podcast in the same room. It'd be really cool.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, has Josh had any awkward moments this week?
Awkward moments. Let's see.
You know what's awkward?
What?
Not having bed music for this.
I was going
segment.
to it. Hey, I'm gonna try to find something.
Type in awkward in that
Okay.
play.me.
Awkward.
Sure.
This is awkward.
My awkward nature, the things left unsaid.
As you know, this puts us in an awkward position.
What's up? It's kind of awkward, so don't make fun of me, all right?
It's really awkward to talk about.
That's funny. Yeah. So
That was good.
that was great.
Good. Yeah.
Yep. So that brings us to our next segment of awkward moments. You're right. So one of the things we were kind of talking about off air was maybe this part of the show could include things that should be awkward. Maybe.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's
Absolutely.
there's a lot of things like that.
And can I touch on something real quick? And
Absolutely.
obviously, like we're kind of playing around with this awkward moment idea, right? But it's more of like in any moment, if you just own it, right? It can be not that awkward or not awkward if you just kind of realize the awkwardness and just play into it. But for me, it's just funny to think about these awkward moments and like the situations you're in and how certain moments and interactions with people can be awkward. And to me, it's funny, and I like pointing those things out. So yeah.
I agree, man. If we
Yeah.
can't make fun of ourselves or certain situations, then we're missing out on a really cool part of life.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you have anything?
I didn't have any awkward moments this week, but I guess I'll be honest with you. We talked a little bit about this. There's been a couple of awkward moments, but I can't bring myself to use real examples of someone in this particular situation. So I'm avoiding even saying it because this is going out to the world and it's public. So I may just leave it at that and think of something else to talk about with awkward moments. But that's how awkward it was that I don't want to share it.
That is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can think of a few things and some that should have been more awkward. Like, especially having a kid and your wife has her boob out, like if you're breastfeeding. So, like, there's been a few times where, okay, here's what I'm going to mention is that people in the hospital, they probably have this like super power of being able to overcome awkward because they see people in the most vulnerable states.
Right.
And a lot of times they knock and they just go in and, she might have her boob out. You might be, whatever. But the thing is, they have a job to do and they have to be like, okay, you're going to have to be mad at me. There was also some of them, actually, most of them were like, hey, is it okay if I come in? Like, but there were others that were just like, okay, I have a job to do. Hey, like, I don't care. So, that I didn't mind. Like, I was like, this is a hospital. We just had a baby. You can expect that somebody's going to see things.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't the one with my boob out too. So, I can only say so much, but
This is true.
There was moments during birth, I will say, that could have been awkward that weren't. It was just like, this is so freaking cool. And especially the doctor that I had. I don't know how graphic I can get here. You know what? I'm just going to go for it, a small part of it. I'm pretty sure that my wife is okay with it. So there's a certain time when, the baby is down and he's there and he's about to come out. And you might see, his head. And my baby has a lot of hair. So, you look over there and you see a head starting to poke out and hair. And you can literally like sit there and play with his hair as he's coming out. And I did that. And it was cool. And it should have been awkward, but it wasn't. It was natural and it was fun. So
No, that's a really great point. There's sometimes where things should be awkward, but the situation and environment,
it's key.
make it not awkward. So I'm trying to think. There's examples of things that would be awkward, but are not awkward in other situations, like that exact situation you just said. Yeah, that's fair. I like that. I wish I had like some really good awkward examples to share with you, just because that would be more content for our book, right?
Yeah. I think you just nailed something down there, though. That's worth you kind of exploring, because you just talked about it was, the environment, awkward environment. Like, what's an awkward environment that you're in sometimes and you're like, okay, this environment is awkward?
Yeah. Generally speaking, when you're somewhere, when you're physically somewhere and you thought it was one place, but it's another place, like showing up for a class, but you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, that's a special awkward feeling.
You went to you got invited to a small group and you went to the wrong house, and it's a completely different small group than you thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I wish that has not happened to me, but that would be awkward. Or maybe it has happened to me and I'm just saying it has.
Whoa.
Yeah, those are definitely environments that can be
That's
can
funny.
be quite funny.
That's good. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always like breaking the ice though with like jokes and things like that to kind of talk my way out of it. Like, you ever told a joke to someone and it didn't land like you thought it would, just because it's one of those jokes where you had to be there
Oh, yeah. That
to break
is,
the ice a little bit.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, he said as he brought up playphrase.me.
Yeah.
Like I said, you had to be there. You had to be there, I guess.
Well, I guess you had to be there.
I guess you had to be there.
You had to be there. What have you got?
And that brings us to our next segment. What's our segment, Chris?
You had to be there.
You had to be there. So this is a segment we've come up with on the fly. You get to join us along the way as we format the show. And this segment we're gonna talk about a joke or a certain situation that happened, and we're gonna share it with each other, and we're gonna explore and see if it's funny, or not, and if you had to be there for it to be funny. So
I hope you have an example.
I do, and it was so funny when I told you. So I might already know the answer. Me and my wife were doing some last minute things before we went to the hospital, because she was going to be induced at a certain time and all of that. And so we went to Sam's Club, and, there's a line, and I'm like, hey, I got to take my wife to the hospital. I'm joking around. I'm excited. And I'm like, I got to take my wife to the hospital. Look at this old lady in front of us. She's taking her sweet time, isn't she? And then she was there for a long time, and, she had the pump in the side of the car and everything. And I was talking to my wife, and I was like, look at her. She's old. I bet she don't even have it pressed down to where it's putting gas in the car. And I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, yeah, this old lady here has been standing there for like 10 minutes, hadn't even pushed the button. She just
Wait, she
thinks
was
gas is going in.
so she was at the gas pump trying to put gas in her car, and you thought it was funny to think like, oh, what if she's not even really putting gas in the car?
Yeah, if she just like forgot because she's so old.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so I was making a joke like that because I was feeling silly.
I got you.
But I thought it was really, really funny at the time.
What
Like,
would it be funny if like each of us took turns telling jokes that we think you had to be there was funny, but then the other person like purposely just kill it, like just straight face be like, no, dude,
yeah, that's what you
not
did a
funny.
little bit. Just saying. You went over into logic and started explaining why the joke is not funny.
But you know, the old person pumping gas, I mean, she may not have been. She may not have put any gas, and you let her do that. So you should feel bad for
She was good. Like
yeah.
she
Mhm.
eventually left. I
That's what
think
I
what
would
had
tell the
happened.
world too.
Hey, like I think what had happened though. That's funny. That you're so funny. I think what had happened though is like she didn't push it down all the way and just like barely let it click to the first click, and it's like I think it'll be fine.
It was
I got
like,
nothing
yeah,
but time.
yeah. The whole you click it and it stays. There's like two little
Yeah,
or two
yeah.
little yeah.
What is it? What is the
What
point of
is up
that?
with the yeah?
Yeah,
Who wants to pump gas at that rate? You want it to
yeah.
pump as fast as it'll go, right? Why would you only
At that point, like let's just say you're trying to fill up something real small. Why would you want it to click at any rate?
right,
Why not just have one clicker and then you can adjust it and hold it wherever you want it?
right? If you're worried about it spilling over, don't set it and forget it.
Don't don't click it.
Yeah,
What's the deal with the clickers on the gas pump?
man,
That's funny.
that's funny. I like this segment.
I do too. It was more
Well,
fun than I thought it would be.
it was.
What do you have? Do you have anything?
You had to be there. Oh man. I don't think I have anything. And
Okay.
I'd have to like make something up on the spot and
You
it
did a
wouldn't be
good
funny.
job at breaking mine down though, so that was
Mm.
entertaining.
Do you want to like me just to say something so you can do that too?
Yeah, I want to get you. I want to burn
Okay.
you. I want to zing you. I want to dunk on
So,
you.
so I was folding clothes today and I said, Alexa, tell me a joke. And she told me some stupid dad joke.
Mhm.
Like,
Say to the psychiatrist, I think I'm growing nuts.
did you hear that?
Yeah, so she said I heard something about a psychiatrist and he thinks she's growing nuts or something.
Yeah. What did the psychiatrist say something to the tree nut? You see, you had to be there.
I was there. It just happened.
Literally
That's
just
crazy.
happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. We just gave an example of you had to be there.
Yeah. Man.
That's funny. It's pretty good, Chris.
Oh yeah.
That was clever. Like that looked like you meant to do that.
Oh, well, lucky me.
What is the other joke though? Like, do we have time?
I don't have another joke. That was it.
Oh, so you asked her out loud, pretending like you were going to tell me what you asked her?
Yeah. Could you hear Alexa?
Yeah, I heard it,
Oh,
but I thought that was an accident. And
it
then
was an accident, but then I just went with it. So I said, Alexa, tell me a dad joke.
That's funny.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
Turtle break up with the giraffe. They never saw eye to eye.
What did she say about the giraffe?
Why did the turtle break up with the giraffe?
Oh my
They
god.
never saw eye to eye.
Yeah, and that would never work as a relationship. That's fake
Yeah.
news. Moving on.
Yeah, yeah. Should
Mhm.
we combine the next two?
Sure. What do you got?
For mental boogers and real talk?
Mm-hmm.
So I have something for the second one. Did you had something for the first one, right?
Not
Mental?
necessarily.
Oh, well, real talk. Do we have bed music for this?
Yep. Pulling it
And
right now.
FYI, folks, we're still
Okay,
letting
keys.
y'all in on the whole formatting of the show and
Mhm.
figuring it out as we go. So,
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
So-
go real talk.
Okay, Keys. Let's have a real talk.
Yeah, I got my CB, but that's not real talk.
Now that's real talk.
But real talk, you guys are pretty cool. So, cheers.
Thank you, young man. We are pretty cool, and this is the Real Talk segment.
All right, here we go. So me and you were talking today about being into different things and being interested in various genres of extracurricular activities. I don't know why I phrased it like that, but like, you get sometimes you'll be into something like gaming, sports, fish tanks, aquariums. These are all examples for me. But you ever get really into something? I'll use an example, like an aquarium, and think, oh man, this is cool stuff. And you start looking at YouTube videos and think, man, this is a lot of fun to get into. And you start looking at what you can do to get into it. And you start looking at buying aquarium stands, aquariums, different fish, and how to keep them alive, how to make the environment in the aquarium, what materials are best. Like you go full deep into the subject that you're interested in, and it's exciting for you, and you're interested in it. But then you start, looking at, well, I can't just go out and spend, a ton of money and just buy all this stuff and like have it right away. It's expensive. You got to make sure you do it right. And the real talk part of this is talking through how you can control and maintain your wants to an appropriate level. Because number one, we're not just dabbling dudes, we're dabbling dads. We have to be responsible, right? So there's a whole conversation around if I'm suddenly into sports cars, I can't just go out and buy a sports car, right? If I'm suddenly into PC gaming, I can't just spend thousands and thousands of dollars on PC games and monitors and all that. So uh I guess that's my segment, and what I wanted to bounce stuff off of you was uh, your thoughts on that, and what has that happened to you, and what do you do to work through that? Um, and that's one of the topics that I've been thinking about lately. So that's our real talk segment for today.
It's really good, dude. That's something that people need to notice when they have that feeling, and not just like stuff down of like, this is the rule I made about this and this is what I'm going to stick to. Like, it's worth being explored. I think it's a really good talk for real talk.
Yeah, because it's easy to want and to um, you know be into things and have hobbies and things like that. And it's real easy to get into a mindset of not having enough. So that's one thing I think is super important, is making sure that you acknowledge all the blessings that you do have and everything you do have.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who don't have, hardly anything, and definitely not as much as we have. So, but it gets kind of serious, right? When you're thinking, oh, I'm just into something, like I'm just into an aquarium. How does that affect my soul or my spirit? But like, there's definitely a point where you can, I guess, over uh overvalue certain things and not appreciate what you do have, because you become so wrapped up in this new thing that you're suddenly interested in. Um, and this honestly, sometimes it can be a turn off to think, well, if I just take my time and slowly get into it, that'll work. But really, it's hard to do that sometimes, because I'm very uh, like I'll move from one thing to another that I'm interested in, uh, but nevertheless, it's still stuff that uh, you become interested in and want to do and dabble in, as we do and say, you know what I mean?
Man, I know exactly what you mean. And the thing about, I mean, I've thought about that, and I've been through that myself a lot. And I can only speak from my own experience. I've went on a journey of learning how to love myself. And I have a few notes here, because it's things like, have you ever heard of like poverty mindset?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's there's that kind of fits into that, and it also fits into, for me, this is my own personal journey. I'm not saying about you, or I'm not saying about anyone else. Like, you have to find your own story in this, in this whole subject. But for me, okay, I want to read this right here because this is in my notes from a long time ago, and I think it kind of fits with this. So, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out all fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. There is no fear in love. To break fear in our lives, we need to open ourselves to the possibility that the things that we find value in outside of ourselves are not indicators of our worth or value. And man, it's taking me some time to unpack that right now as we're talking, and it's like, do I get my value from things that I'm getting? Do I get my value, like, am I not going to be valuable unless this happens? Like, am I not going to be valuable unless I do this? And that kind of fits in for me a little bit of like, I'm worth investing in with things if I find happiness in my soul about it. But if that's my only source, like if I'm not happy unless I have this, and I think that's when it becomes a problem.
Right.
And it can either be about loving myself and investing in myself and understanding that it's okay to have hobbies and it's okay to spend money on myself. I struggled with that a lot, especially when I went through the Dave Ramsey course. I probably shouldn't have like name dropped like that, but his course has helped a lot of people. But for me, it caused me a lot of anxiety of like, I have to be, super, diligent about this. I have a responsibility to my family, this and that.
There's a lot of people that share that same sentiment you're
Yeah.
saying there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it's worth praying about, and I think that it's seasonal. Of like, there are seasons to do that. There's also seasons to love on yourself and spend money on yourself, because I would do that. Like, I want to treat myself like another person that I love a whole lot and I want to invest in. And if my wife if she really wanted something and would find enjoyment in it, I would love on her and I'd be like, baby, let's make this happen. Let's be smart about it, but let's make this happen. And that's how I kind of see it. There were times when I was really depressed and I needed something, and would find my value in it and myself, my own journey. Sometimes if I really want something, I wait about a week or two and I see if I still want it.
Yeah.
And if I do, then I look for how to get it. But I don't think it's wrong to want it.
No. You hit the nail on the head. As long as that you wanting those things and you're being responsible about it, and it's not the source of your joy, right? It's not the thing that fills your spirit, because man-made stuff isn't made to fill that heart-shaped hole or God-shaped hole in your heart. So I think that's exactly how I would put it.
Yeah, but it can be good for your soul, and it can be good for your body, like to feel those endorphins. And I don't think those things are bad or should be thrown away, just because we're wanting to be more spiritual. Like, I think God saved the whole person, and I think he died for the whole person, the spirit, soul, and the body. So, man, like I totally get that, and that can be tough to navigate. And I'm sure that other people go through that same struggle.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always funny to hear, because we're way more alike in some cases than we are different, and you always see that when you meet new people, right? Once you take off the mask and really know someone, it's honestly interesting how similar people are sometimes.
Yeah, and it's worth investing in everyone out there. Like, if I would learn about the poverty mindset, like, do you have a poverty mindset because of how you were brought up? Of like, hey, I was brought up learning that we weren't going to have a whole lot of money and times are going to be tough, so you don't need to spend your money. And some people with the poverty mindset, that's why people who like win the lottery spend all of their money, is because they think that they're not going to be able to hold on to it anyway. So you might as well spend it. Or you can go to the other case where they don't spend any of it because they think that it's so hard to get and they don't buy anything. And then they die, and Like those are
Yeah.
two extremes of the poverty mindset of like, but I think the correct mindset, which is so hard, is like I can make more money and I can be a good steward of my money and understand that actually money wants to come to me. I'm a hard worker, I'm smart, you can go into all of those things like, but I believe in like this wealth mindset. Um and it's part of being good stewards of your money. Like what's your thoughts on that part?
On stewardship.
Maybe that or just like the poverty mindset because it can sneak in there, man. Like
Yeah, I've heard those concepts before, and it seems that how you are raised and how your family handled money is how you grow up, and have that can have a large influence on how you handle money. I believe that that's important to at least understand, and we do this in our like marriage, premarital counseling. That's one of the concepts that comes up is make sure you discuss, how that those things before you get married, and because you may handle differently or have a different mindset on money than someone else or your partner. So
mm-hmm.
I definitely agree it's something that you should kind of contemplate about and think about and understand about yourself because it has potential to have an impact on you and how you see money and how you see you should earn money and how you should use money and how you steward your money.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and man, that's one of the things that I'm so blessed that I have the wife that I do because we kind of balance each other out on that aspect and she's so good with things. And she has her own struggles with that too. Like I have to like tell her to spend money.
Mm.
And but also sometimes she has to rein me in and be like, hey, like um not that I'm doing anything wrong necessarily, but I don't know. We just balance each other out. Um, I've went through those different seasons where I don't want to spend anything, and then I'm like go through other seasons where it's like, hey, it's important to invest in myself in this area. So
Mm.
I like it's so good to have that open conversation with your spouses, and it can be super hard too. Like we've argued, and we've also come to conclusions through that of where we were both wrong on things. So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother talk. Like that's going to take a lot of time. So we probably don't even need to go that route. But
I think that was a good real talk. I think it was a good
that was
important
a
subject.
great, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. That's a really good one to bring up, and I love how you laid it out.
Yeah, yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, hey, everyone out there, if you're not already, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. We'd really appreciate it. We're really enjoying doing these videos and really excited about to keep doing them. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome.
They say you should drink water. But I subscribe to the law of contrary public opinion.
Wilson doesn't subscribe to this suffragist.
So, don't forget to like and subscribe.
If we both subscribe to the Daytime Drama Journal, it'll be as if we're in the same club.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure to share and subscribe to my channel.
There you go. Please subscribe. That was great. Good job, Chris.
Awesome. So do you have anything cool you want to talk about?
Oh, something cool.
What's
Okay.
something cool you saw this week or heard or did?
So it's nerdy and it goes into tech talk too. Like I could talk a lot about, the baby, and that's super cool, and just like normal everyday dad things which trump what I'm about to say. Like there's so many cool things to do with my son, and I do want to bring those up eventually. But something cool that just like hits me in a way that's like, this is not necessary, but it's cool and I'm going to do it. Like I love messing around with tech. I love messing around with programs on my computer. There's one that I found. It's a highway in Japan that I got on this game called Assetto Corsa. I downloaded a pack that somebody made on the internet. It's this like really iconic, I guess, highway in Japan. And there's like live traffic that you drive through. And it is a simulation experience. I have a set of Corsa, and I have all kind of mods on there to make it look more realistic. And I have a wheel and pedals and all that. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to get a drink and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to drive on this highway and weave through traffic on a really fast sports car. And it's going to be fun. You can even do it in VR. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen to the radio and I'm going to do that. It's going to be awesome.
That sounds pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool. So you have a whole like racer setup with seat, pedals, and steering wheel?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to like post some pictures one day on the podcast, but
yeah,
or post some pictures on the podcast, post some pictures on the show, and we need to like have our own kind of page too, where we can upload things that we like. But
yeah,
it's a rig I built, and I have a Logitech wheel and pedals, and I got a HOTAS like joystick for like flying and stuff, but I also use that as a handbrake. And yeah, I got my own little setup that I made on a budget, like out of scrap wood and some what do you call it, ratchet strap deal. So I can like clip in my office chair so that when I push on the pedals, I don't push back. And then when I need to come off of it, I just take off these little like hooks, and then it's back to, chair in front of a screen mode. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. When we do our live broadcast, I'll come there and I'll check it out.
We can do it live from the shop. That would be so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that kind of rolls into our tech talk segment. Should we roll some tech talk bed music or play? What happens if you type in tech to phase or whatever it is, phrase.tv?
I'm not picking up any cities or technology.
You'll be exposed to the kind of technology that you wouldn't see anywhere else because we've classified it.
We don't give two shits about
Whoops.
Medicine or economics, in technology or space, battle lines are being drawn.
The outer colonies would never have...
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That was tech.
That didn't go like I thought it would.
You know, I really used to like high tech.
His bike didn't even come close to passing
There's a lot of tech segments or phrases.
I was wondering if you know what they're building over in the
Wow, it's still going.
Well, the first one I did technology, and this last one was just tech. Yeah.
I got you.
I should have stuck with tech, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, you should play the what was that movie?
Napoleon Dynamite. That's the one I was hoping would come up. That's why I put in technology.
Can you sing the song?
I can put it in. Yes, we love technology. Not as much as you and me. Yes, we love technology. Always and forever. There you go.
That's awesome. Tech talk. So my thoughts are that we're dabbling dudes. We dabble in a lot of stuff, right? So one of the things I have started dabbling in, like one of the things that I'm suddenly very freshly, kind of always been kind of intrigued by it, but very freshly, like super intrigued and interested in this, is PC gaming. I've been watching some YouTube channels, reading a bunch of stuff, and suddenly very into refresh rates, PC builds, how they're put together, brands, what pieces of hardware are better than others. I went to pcbuilder.com and started like building my own PC. So point is, I'm suddenly really, really into building my own PC. It's probably the primary topic there, but really to get into like gaming and all that seems like it's something I would be really interested in doing. But there's a couple of YouTube channels that I watch that I've kind of zoned out into recently. Linus Tech Talk, he has a million plus subscribers. He's got a lot of videos, makes a lot of cool videos on PC builds. But it's just really interesting. I think it's something I would definitely want to get into. It's obvious it's not cheap. You can You can like go to PC Builder, or I don't know what the exact website is. I think Newegg has all the websites have a builder, right? So if you just pick all the cheapest components, you can get a computer for like $500, right? With like the very low end graphics card that would do bare minimum gaming. But from what I've been reading and watching on YouTube, uh, maybe 1500 is probably a reasonable amount to get a decent
Mm-hmm.
computer. That's just my analysis off of like a couple days worth of
Right.
research and watching YouTube. Maybe I'm wrong, but
No,
uh,
like I agree. Like, and I think it also depends on what you want. So, like my old computer build that I built a long time ago was a very modest, like $500 budget, and I can play a lot of games on it. You're not going to be necessarily playing everything on high, but
mm,
some games rely more on the processor, some rely more on the graphics card.
mm,
Some need a lot more RAM, some need an SSD. So, it's just all in what you're going to use it for. It's kind of why I got this laptop, is because I wanted something mobile. I wanted lots of RAM for being able to stream and do things like this, like have multiple things at once. At the time, it was one of the best bang for the buck graphics cards with a 2070 Super is in it. It's got an 8-core processor, so that's like plenty for most applications, and can run most games in 1080p at a higher frame rate than normal. But when you go into like running things at like 4K, that's when you might need to upstep to the next thing. 1440p, depending on what program you're using as far as a game. Like there's certain games that I can run on 4K 60, but it's got different things as far as like oh my gosh, I can't say the word. Different things as far as software that can actually run the game better. There's NVIDIA has some things. I forget the name of it. It's like NVIDIA. Oh gosh, it left me. But essentially, what that does is it's able to upscale
mm.
resolutions using AI so that it doesn't take the power of your computer away, or so that it doesn't use extra like resources. And man, it's something that if I don't stop myself now, I could talk a lot about, because I watch Linus all the time. I watch computer builds. Linus, there's Nerd on a Budget. There's different ones that deal with like mostly strictly like retro gaming, and they'll build these little tiny like things so that they can run all these older games as far as like PlayStation 1, 2, those style of games. And there's so many different builds that I would love to do. I'd love to build one for just like sim racing. I would love to build one that's like a smaller form factor. I would love to build a beast of a computer too. Like, I totally get it, man. It is a fun and broad subject.
Dude, I would love to just have like a huge budget and then create some content of me figuring out the process of
Yeah.
buying all the components and then filming, putting it together, finding the right case, doing all that, and then do another video series of me creating a desk, like my office space.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. Dude, a few weeks ago, I was watching YouTube office desk setup videos all the time.
Me
There's
too, man.
something, I don't know what the word is where I'm just glued to it. Couldn't watch enough of those videos of people's desk setup and their keyboard and monitor
Yes.
and what type of desk they had, if they had the automatic self-rising and lowering adjustable height ones.
Yeah.
Definitely something I'm super into right now, and man, would love to just create some content of setting one of those up.
So would you like to see what my budget thing is that I have here? Like my budget setup? Because I watch a lot of those videos of like, they'll have the plants in the right spot. They'll have a desk that goes up and down. I got a budget setup that fits my needs until I want to go like ham onto the full blown, like this looks awesome set up.
Yeah.
So would you like to
Yeah.
see it? Yeah.
Yeah, if you can show me.
Yeah, I can show you. I got a camera.
Give me let me create your own desk tour setup video.
Here's a desk tour, guys. Here it is. So you see, I got a plant over there, and it's Velcroed down, and
Absolutely.
I got my computer here, and I also have an extra keyboard and some notes, and here's my mic set up. So you see all that hooked up, right? Well, you probably can't hear me because I was.
No, I hear you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you're good. I hear you.
So you see that right there, and then this desk actually goes up and down.
Okay.
So it'll all adjust up and down. And you know, I have everything on here. Here's my VR over here. I'll hang up my like extra stuff on this arm.
Nice.
It like fits the need, and I did a little bit of decorating, so it's kind of a mini. Okay, so have you ever seen The Office? You have Mega Desk.
Have I seen The Office? Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have. So you have Mega Desk. This is Micro Desk.
Okay.
And it has everything that I enjoy doing. I got a controller hooked up right here on the side, like.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and I got like this whole area here where I could put stuff on. If I want to attach like a joystick or something here, like all that. That was probably horrible video, but
No, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I'm totally into that. I don't have the room in my current house to put a standalone office, but I'm thinking about in our guest bedroom, taking over.
I saw a
one
guy
wall.
build a whole setup in a closet, and it was awesome.
I've seen some of those that some of those have been pretty sick that I saw. But I definitely think I have room to at least put a desk, and in our guest bedroom could do a corner or maybe one wall. Have one of those electric adjustable height desk, have a sweet monitor. So I don't run Mac stuff, so I would be all Windows based, but which I don't know. Does anyone game with Mac system?
So Macs
Is that
actually
am I gonna get slaughtered in comments by asking that question?
I don't think it's as big of a gaming thing in Mac, but their chip that they have in a Mac is really beefy and does not get that hot. So it's like I think they're going into the market of making their own gaming setups, but Mac likes to keep everything in their own ecosystem, so it can be difficult a lot of times. But I do know people that run a Windows machine on a Mac. Like there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so that's cool stuff. Who knows? Maybe some point in the future we'll do a series on me building a PC.
Yes, dude, I could talk about that stuff for days. And for me, everything goes into like deeper meaning as far as my own personal journey with my mental state and all of that, and not so much mental state, but like what I consider being me, because I'm a certain number on the Enneagram, if you've ever heard of that, where I'm an individualist. Like I like
what's your number?
I'm trying to remember if it's like an 8 or a 2. I don't exactly remember.
Yeah,
I got it
I'm
somewhere.
Apparently a 9.
Yeah.
So
so there's those certain tendencies that I'm like, I want to make this my own, and so I enjoy doing things that are kind of janky because it's fun to me, like to make something work that shouldn't work like that or be a little bit janky. So, but that's another subject too. I have to stop myself because I could go on a tangent about that, but
no, that's all good. Definitely a fun topic to talk about. So last segment of the night, we're gonna roll into, and if you'll go ahead and type that in real quick. Last topic is sports.
Sports? Did you say something about sports? I gotta find the page and pretend that I'm doing audio.
Drive sports cars. date movie stars.
Sports make you grunt and smell.
I'm really good at playing sports.
He had on a sports shirt and pants, but he had dirty fingernails.
She didn't even like sports.
She didn't even like sports. I like the last one.
Sports.
Sports.
All right, a lot of stuff going on right now. We're getting ready for college football season. Looking forward to that. I know a lot of people enjoy college football, so a lot of unknowns this year, but looking forward to seeing what happens in the SEC. I'm a big Auburn fan, so we'll see how TJ Finley does. He was just named the starting quarterback today. That's going to be, I think if he's done a lot of off-season training to get quicker and improve some of his accuracy and decision making, I think he'll be all right. But yeah, looking forward to the football season. I think there's a lot of teams on the bubble this year about whether they could be good or not. But going to be doing a lot of watching this fall. So and I'm glad it's turning fall because this heat here has been something serious.
So, how do you think it's going to affect the Tigers with Alan Green exiting as Auburn Tigers athletic director?
That whole situation, I don't understand because I'm reading headlines, but the headlines aren't really describing what the issue was. I don't know if he was forced out or if it was like a, hey, you need to resign kind of thing. I'm getting mixed, or I have mixed opinions based on the headlines I'm seeing. Will it be a distraction? I don't think so too much. Now, if you have issues with the head coach, that obviously has a direct impact on how the team does. But at the AD level, probably not going to be super impactful. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Not sure exactly if there's details that haven't been reported yet, but we'll find out, I guess. So yeah, but another team I want to talk about is the Atlanta Braves. So the Atlanta Braves are on a hot streak right now. They are winning something serious, and I think they're 2 games behind in the NL East right now. So if they continue to play well, they may win the division outright. So there's a lot of games left, but if they win the division, the playoff road is a lot easier. They're clearly going to make the playoffs, but if they can win their division, that would be really awesome. I like a lot of the players on the Braves. They have a lot of young talent there, a lot of potential. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happening with some of the players on the teams over the year, but I think they're going to continue to do well to finish the season strong and hopefully make a good postseason run. And then there's a lot of other sports starting up and finishing this time of year, but we don't have time, or I don't have the desire to go talk about every little sports thing. But those 2 teams are ones I'm mainly interested in. And if we have sports segments, those 2 will be on the topic list for sure. You remember that time we went to a Braves game a few years ago?
I do, man. I do. Dude, you sound very knowledgeable on the sports stuff. That is not exactly my forte, but I will get into it and I will dabble in it for you, brother. Part of being a dabbling dude is dabbling with your dabbling dudes. You know what I say?
Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be stuff that you're into that I will dabble in.
Yeah, everything except my wife.
I was trying. When I said that, there was a joke that we used to do a long time ago that I almost blurted out in the middle of it.
Tell me, dude. Come on, it's a safe space, man.
Dude. I'm trying to remember how we even said it. It was something for, was it a strap? What was the strap? Was it for your? What was it was an actual strap, but what was it for?
I don't know. I don't know. It was a strap that went on.
Was it a GoPro strap? Like you had a chest strap or something?
So it was a strap on, or it was a strap that went on a GoPro?
Yeah,
so to strap on a GoPro.
Yeah, and I would say, do you have your strap on?
Yeah, and I would be like, I don't know.
This is divulging.
Cut it out.
Hey, I think we made it through an entire episode this week. I think it went pretty well. What do you think?
Man, I'm gonna make the same joke I made on like episode 0 or 1. I think it went well. That's a whale sound I just made. I made that joke on one of our episodes, and I was like, okay, that's going to be my awkward moment for next week because I made a whale joke. Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, it did go well. Dude, I could keep talking. I want to keep talking so bad.
I know. Well, you keep talking, and or I'll keep talking, and you end the show, and then we'll see, how it goes.
Man, okay. I'm feeling some music here to end the show, and then we're gonna say goodbyes to everyone.
Yeah. All right.
I want some Irish music.
While he's doing that, thanks again for watching the show. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for checking us out. Let us know in the comments. I mean, guys, let us know what would Bilbo Baggins do in the Shire in this certain situations.
And what do you think he dabbles in?
What do
you guys dabble in?
What do you dabble in? Please talk to us. We would love to know. Part of being a dabbling dude is sharing your dabbling news. So let us know.
I'm glad you ended on news.
Absolutely. All right, man. I'm gonna build up an awkward moment and tell you how much I love you. I love you.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See y'all next week.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.